Welcome to a whirlwind tour through the ever-evolving landscape of creativity and technology, whether it's shaking up the branding game, transforming digital canvases, or even reinventing the wheel with AI-generated masterpieces. We're here to explore the boundless possibilities that lie at your fingertips using Midjourney. So buckle up and let your creativity soar as we embark on this exciting journey together. Let's talk about brainstorming. Midjourney has this knack for shaking things up right at the start of any branding project. So here are a few instances where your team might find Midjourney super handy. Think of Midjourney as your go-to for getting the creative juices flowing when you're diving into a design project. Whether you're aiming to put together a mood board, bring a concept to life visually, or even get your ideas across to your designer in a clearer way, Midjourney's got your back. For example, imagine you're working on a Christmas campaign for a luxury brand of women's handbags. So let's try something fun. We're going to compare the last two versions of Midjourney to see which one nails it. So go ahead and launch your prompt and hit yes to run them both at the same time. The first try? Pretty impressive, honestly. The vibe was just right. You could really tell that version 6 had a better grasp on the little details, like the overload of Christmas lights and decorations. Both versions did a decent job, though I couldn't help but laugh at the bags floating in midair, like, what was that about? But we weren't exactly hitting the mark since the billboards were missing the bags. So let's mix it up a bit. This time we'll ask to see some bags on those billboards and let both versions take another shot. And would you look at that? We totally nailed it this time, bags and all. Plus, we got some really cool ideas for billboard campaigns. This round, we're leaning towards sticking with version 5.2. Let's fine-tune it a bit more to fully flesh out the idea. The trick here is to be as detailed as you can with your prompts. The more specific you are about what you're envisioning, including the subject, style, and tone of the image you're aiming for, the better the outcome. So don't hold back on the details. It really makes all the difference. Stepping into the digital ring means battling it out with a sea of competitors, each armed with their own flashy visuals vying for the spotlight. Why not amp up your game and make your visuals pop to truly stand out? Picture giving your website a facelift with killer product shots, captivating blog visuals, or unique personalized backgrounds for your About Us page. Midjourney's got your back, ready to inject some serious flair and keep your online presence fresh and engaging. Let's take a made-up Coca-Cola Valentine's campaign billboard as an example. Picture this: the logo and brand colors come together in just the right way to win over hearts. With Midjourney, you fine-tune the specifics, working closely with your designer to get that spot-on look. So we decided to test both versions again, aiming to find the one that perfectly captures our vision. And there we have it. Version 5.2 throws in a bit of a vintage vibe, plus a whole lot of quirkiness into the mix. The images have potential, but definitely need some editing, especially with the odd-looking folks around, and the logo is just nearly there, but not quite. On the flip side, version 6 is simply stunning. It delivers some seriously good concepts that, with a bit of tweaking, could turn into the most jaw-dropping campaigns we've ever seen. And the logo? It's spot on, absolutely flawless. A quick pro tip before you dive in: nail down your brand identity first. Knowing who you are sets the stage for creating visuals that truly reflect your brand's vibe and vision. Let's face it, the cost of stock image subscriptions can quickly pile up, not to mention the endless hours spent digging through countless images to find that one perfect shot. And if you're thinking about getting a designer on board to whip up some custom on-brand artwork, prepare for a hefty bill and a lot of time spent back and forth. That's where Midjourney swings into action. Think about it. An ad on social media or an email blast is only as good as its ability to make someone stop their endless scrolling. And what better way to do that than with some downright captivating visuals that make your audience pause and actually read what you have to say? Got a special event or promo on the horizon? Forget the same old tired flyer design. Turn to Midjourney to whip up something that's not just attention-grabbing, but impossible for your audience to ignore. Keep in mind, though, that Midjourney might not nail it on the first attempt in creating an image that perfectly aligns with your brand and message. Take, for example, launching an ad for a new smartwatch. First, we'll generate an image of our watch, tweaking it until it's just right. Then we'll use that image to craft a promo banner for our website. So first off, we toss our idea into the mix to see what Midjourney comes up with. We end up with this awesome collection of watches. 2 of them are super modern, and the other 2 have this classic vibe, though they're not exactly the smart LED screen type we were initially aiming for. But hey, this actually sparks another idea for a different ad. Each one has its own unique look, and they all just fit perfectly with the vibe we're going for. So we decide to pick the orange, the red, and the one on the bottom right, and play around with them a bit to see how we can shake things up. The outcomes range from fantastic to mind-blowing. Seriously, just wow. Now we're going to focus on the orange one. We'll upscale the first version and then stretch it out to the left a bit to make space for the ad info we want to include. Out of the 4 options, we pick the one with the least distracting background, upscale that, and give it a bit more room on the left. This is really coming together. Next step, we upscale the 4th option and lock it in for our campaign. And for the other watch, we're going to keep the image square, upscale the 2nd option, and save that for our 2nd ad. It's all falling into place beautifully. Kicking off a new venture, be it a cool product or groundbreaking service, usually starts with a simple doodle or a daydream. That's where Midjourney jumps in, flipping the script on how we bring our ideas to life. It's a real game changer for visualizing your brainchild in full color and detail, covering everything from trendy apparel and sports equipment to cozy furniture, engaging video games, and eye-catching packaging. This time around, we're diving into creating a new running shoe design. So we're hitting up Midjourney to whip up a simple black and white, lines-only draft for our running shoe prototype. And bam, we're greeted with 4 options that strike this incredible balance between awe and simplicity. It's the perfect kind of sketch that lights up the brain with the right idea, the one that'll lead us to nail the perfect design. Just think about the endless possibilities, the sheer number of awesome sketches we could churn out for any physical product. Sure, this is just the beginning and there's more work ahead, but isn't it exciting? We decide to explore more variations of the 3rd option, and what we get is an even more polished set of shoes to pick from. We upscale and save number 3 as our jumping off point. Just chat with Midjourney, describe your vision, or toss in a sketch. In no time, it'll serve up some wicked concept art that's sure to ignite your team's creative fire. Craving to push the creative envelope further with Midjourney? Easy. Upload product snaps, spell out your vision, and watch as it conjures up a storm of concepts. Remember, the clearer your images and instructions, the better the magic. And don't hold back. Mix and match prompts to find that sweet spot that mirrors your brand's essence. With Midjourney's knack for spitting out a spectrum of image styles, you're sure to land on something that's just the right kind of different for your brand. Diving into t-shirt design isn't just cool, it's your canvas to splash your creativity and maybe even spend some cash from your passion. Picture the buzz when you spot something rocking a tee that's straight out of your imagination. It's all about creating those head-turning designs that speak volumes, spark conversations, or just spread a little joy. But the real game changer? Bringing those designs into the digital limelight with crisp mock-ups that scream, "Gotta have it," as loudly online as they do in person. These mock-ups aren't just about making your tees look legit, they bridge the dream reality gap, nudging customers from maybe to must-have in a heartbeat. Let's whip up some hilarious characters for a clothing line, aiming to introduce little friendly monsters that will bring a smile to everyone's face. When we sent out our prompt, even though we specifically mentioned no t-shirts, a few still popped up. But you know, one character really stood out to us right away, the first little dude. So we're diving deeper into variations of this guy, and while we're at it, let's give that other little red monster a chance to shine and see if he's got what it takes. The first one gives us a lineup of 4 hilarious characters, that are just spot on for our vision. As for the little red monster, well, he doesn't quite make the cut. So we're going all in with the first 4, upscaling and saving them to kickstart our t-shirt designs. And when you're ready to take the leap with your designs, launching your e-commerce platform is where the magic morphs into reality. This is more than selling tees. It's about birthing your brand, a digital haven that mirrors your vibe and vision. Whether you're targeting a cozy niche or casting a wider net, your online store is the stage and your designs the stars. Ever caught yourself zoning out in front of your drafting table or screen, trying to break through that creative wall? Well, if you're an architect or interior designer hunting for that spark to ignite your next project, I've got the lifeline you need. Midjourney's here to smash those blocks to smithereens. Picture this, a tool that grabs those fuzzy ideas floating around your brain and turns them into vivid, inspiring visual. Dreaming up a breathtaking building or cozying up a room, Midjourney's your go-to. Acting like a digital muse ready to feed your ideas for your next big project or sprinkle some magic on your interior designs. Imagine we're dreaming up a house that feels like a crystal palace, bathed in stunning views and dripping with luxury. So we toss this idea into Midjourney, aiming to capture that opulent vibe in a home design. And voila, among the 4 concepts we get, the bottom 2 really nail it. From there, we'd obviously need to tweak and ground the designs in reality, making sure the construction plans are solid. Midjourney makes things look amazing, but doesn't account for the nuts and bolts of architecture. Next up, we're envisioning a waterfront home that truly embraces its connection to the water. But this time, we're focusing on the interior. We send out our prompt and end up with 3 exterior designs and 1 interior. And that 1 interior is exactly what we're looking for. A spacious living area with views of the water that just soothes the soul. Switching gears, we're now aiming for an industrial vibe for an office space. The bottom right image strikes a perfect balance. It maintains that industrial edge, but feels surprisingly warm and inviting. The top images also manage to pull off a cozy industrial look. What if we tried applying this aesthetic to a hotel? Let's give it a shot. We launch our prompt and get this fascinating mix of old and new. Sure, some rooms seem a bit too worn, but others offer a really cool blend. My top pick, the bottom right one. Curious to see what happens if we tweak the formula? We run our prompt, this time skipping the chaos parameter to dial down the creativity a bit. And the results are surprisingly good. Even with walls that look like they've seen better days, the overall decor adds a layer of comfort to the space. This isn't just a creativity booster, it's your design sidekick, opening up new paths and possibilities you hadn't even thought of. Whether you're aiming to craft a skyline standout or turn a bland room into a breathtaking retreat, Midjourney's your guide. With this ace up your sleeve, you're not just tackling a project, you're weaving a narrative, making every space not just a place, but a story ready to unfold. Are you on the hunt for the perfect logo that encapsulates everything your company stands for? Look no further, because Midjourney is here to make that journey a breeze. Dive into creativity and lay down the groundwork for a logo that speaks volumes about your brand. And the best part, once you've got the base design, you can easily fine-tune it with other software to add those unique touches that scream, "This is us." All right, so we're jumping into designing a logo for a fast food truck that's all about burgers. And guess what? We ended up with some seriously awesome illustrations. One of them even makes our food truck look like a giant burger. How cool is that? The one that really grabs my attention is in the top left corner. So let's upscale that bad boy right off the bat and play around with variations of numbers 1 and 3. Find yourself needing an icon that's not just good, but stops people in their tracks? Midjourney's got your back there too. Imagine crafting app icons so captivating, they become the talk of the App Store, drawing users in with their striking visual appeal. So we're on a mission to design an icon for our language learning app, and we're really aiming for something that pops and grabs everyone's attention. This time around, we're pretty detailed in our instructions, telling Midjourney that we need an icon perfect for the App Store. We launch it with a bit of flair and end up with a variety of elements in our results. Since we were a bit open-ended about the specific elements we wanted in our icon, we got this cool assortment that actually has some potential. The top 2 options look promising and could definitely work, but the other 2, not so much. For our next move, we decide to narrow it down and ask for a brain icon, curious to see what Midjourney will deliver. And wow, it doesn't disappoint. We get 4 vibrant and distinct brain icons. We decide to upscale the top right one from this bunch. Then, revisiting our first set of options, we pick the top 2 for a bit of upscaling and further tweaking. And for the cherry on top, think about your social media presence. Want to stand out with your avatars that are uniquely you? Midjourney can transform reference photos of yourself into sleek, stylish avatars that make your profiles pop. Whether it's for LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other platform, these custom avatars can help you make a memorable impression online. If you've got a soft spot for nostalgia, imagine creating your own comic strips that hark back to the classic, chuckle-worthy pieces we used to find in the newspapers of yesteryear. With Midjourney, you're not just creating art, you're reviving the golden era of comic strips, infusing them with your unique twist and humor. For our first attempt, we're diving into creating a superhero comic strip, channeling the iconic style of Dave Gibbons. You know, the legendary artist behind classics like Green Lantern and The Flash, not to mention his heaps of other contributions to the comic book world. We're thinking of capturing that old school essence, so let's see what we can cook up. Kicking things off with version 4, we end up with a promising mix, though it's clear it's going to need a hefty dose of elbow grease to really shine. With that in mind, we decided to cast a wider net, opting for a dual prompt targeting versions 5.2 and 6. And oh boy, does it start to get interesting. From version 5.2, we get a collection of frames that look sharper, though if you look too closely, you might catch a few quirks, and yes, that includes having to edit out Spider-Man's unexpected wig and cape. Version 6 brings a more authentic vintage feel, featuring some dramatic close-ups, and 3 out of the 4 images are definitely something we can work with and transform into comic gold. And why stop there? Picture this. You could be the mastermind behind an entire graphic novel, or perhaps you're looking to enchant younger audiences with a beautifully illustrated children's book. All of this is possible with a little help from Midjourney. All right, let's crank up a multi-prompt and pull some creative ideas from versions 4, 5.2, and 6. This round, we're diving into the world of graphic novels, spinning a tale set amidst a relentless zombie apocalypse. We're shooting for that Brian Bolland magic. You know, the brilliant mind behind Judge Dredd's iconic visuals, not to mention his unforgettable takes on the Joker and countless DC comic book covers. The results from each version are nothing short of spectacular, one after the other. Honestly, you can't go wrong no matter which one you pick. Version 4 even took a stab at incorporating the word zombie into the mix. It didn't quite hit the mark, but the effort alone nails the ambience we're after. This isn't just about drawing or writing, it's about weaving your creativity with the innovative AI technology to produce something truly special. Whether it's a graphic novel with epic narratives or a series of comic strips that bring everyday humor to life, the possibilities are endless. So grab your virtual pen and let Midjourney be the canvas for your imagination's wildest adventures. How about we dive into creating a children's book? Let's experiment with 2 different styles to find the perfect fit for our story, which revolves around a little princess and her magical frog friend. We put that into our prompt and take a shot to see what comes up. And wow, the results are just amazing. We got our little princess and her oversized frog buddy, both of them sporting this innocent look and radiating a joyful vibe in the illustration. For our next move, we're aiming for a watercolor style to see how that feels. And what Midjourney sends back is nothing short of awesome. Now, revisiting our first set of illustrations, we decide to upscale the top left image. From the watercolor batch, we're intrigued by the bottom left one. After upscaling, we zoom out on the images 2 times to give us a bit more space to play around with for our book cover. We end up picking the top right from the first grid and the top left from the second set, saving them to fine-tune further. Jumping into game development is like entering a realm where the only limit is how far your imagination can stretch. Picture crafting breathtaking worlds with every landscape and environment meticulously designed down to the last pixel. But it's not just about painting a pretty backdrop, it's about infusing your world with life. Envision crafting shimmering armor, brewing enchanting potions, or piecing together interactive objects that draw players deeper into the adventure. Let's dive into creating a cool cafe for our next adventure game, aiming for that nostalgic 8-bit vibe that reminds us of all the fun times from our childhood. We're leaning into version 4 and style 4A since they're known to nail the 8-bit aesthetic perfectly. Let's give it a whirl. And wow, how awesome is that? We've got 4 fantastic options on our hands, each one looking like it could be straight out of a game. Let's zoom in on the bottom right image for a closer look by upscaling it. And the real soul of any game, the characters. This is where you inject your creations with personality, crafting heroes and villains that are more than just pixels. They're stories waiting to unfold. This time we're crafting an action hero for our next adventure game, and we want Midjourney to deck him out in shiny golden armor. We're sticking with version 4, but deciding to test out style 4B this round. And wow, it's just amazing. We've got our warrior in golden armor, striking various poses. Next up, we need an epic backdrop for our adventure. The game is set in a jungle, so let's add some Mayan-style temple ruins to really set the scene. The results? Absolutely stunning. We've got 4 beautifully designed backgrounds to choose from, and honestly, it's hard to pick just one. For our hero, I'm going to upscale the bottom left image and explore some variations, but it's their original pose that truly screams cover material for the game's box. As for the background, I'm leaning towards working with both the top and bottom right images to bring our game's world to life. Game development is an art of attention to detail. The flicker of twilight in a ghost town, the intrigue of a spellbound elixir. Every design, every asset, every persona is a crucial piece of the epic saga you're inviting players to join. Stepping into the AI art scene is like navigating a wild, uncharted territory where the rules of copyright and ownership are flipped on their heads. If you're shelling out for an AI image generator subscription, you can churn out loads of images for commercial kicks every month. The twist? You own the file, not the copyright. It's a quirky side of copyright law without a human's creative touch, claiming copyright gets murky. For businesses, this spells out a weird mix of freedom and caution. No copyright, no need for a commercial license. But it also means you can't block others from using your AI-crafted logos or graphics, making it a double-edged sword similar to stock photos minus the fees. When crafting content that needs to stand out, like an executive profile, peppering in unique brand elements is key to keeping copyrights at bay. Yet in the AI world, everything you create is up for grabs, becoming part of the public domain soup where anyone can remix your visuals. This might be a minor headache for things like social media posts, but a real concern for more permanent brand symbols like logos. The big picture? AI's knack for digesting heaps of data and spitting out new, cool visuals is both a marvel and a minefield. It poses the risk of diluting the value of original art, as AI can mimic and mash up styles at lightning speed, challenging the old-school copyright playbook and potentially sidelining pro artists. In essence, while AI cracks open a world of creative possibilities, it also tosses in a bundle of ethical and copyright puzzles to piece together. But hey, that's the price of innovation, right? As we ride this wave of digital evolution, let's not forget to push the boundaries, dream big, and create boldly. The future is an exciting canvas, and it's all yours to paint. If you like this video, I encourage you to hit the subscribe and like buttons. It really helps out a small channel like mine. In the meantime, go have an excellent day, and let's go make bazillions.